Alright, question 19 asks, which of the following is not a relevant cash flow when estimating cash flows for deciding whether to invest in the project? So this is a little tricky because it does ask not, so we want to cancel anything that is a true statement. Alright, so the inventory of a new product, is that true? Yes, you would include inventory in when you're estimating cash flows. B, salaries paid to managers who decide which projects to take. Well, that would not be relevant because you would pay the managers regardless of what project is taken. So that looks like that would be that would answer this question, that it's not relevant. But let's just make sure. C, the reduction in sales of outdated products. Yes, we would. That is relevant. That this specific example is called cannibalization, so that is relevant, therefore it doesn't answer this question. The tax rate times the depreciation of the asset purchased when the project begins, that is relevant because that's the debt tax shield. And then today's market value of land the company already owns, that is relevant because that is an opportunity cost. And that confirms that B is the answer. Number 20, cap a company. This is using multiple valuations. Now we see here that the earnings per share is negative. That means that PE valuation method cannot be used because the earnings per share is negative. It would make no sense to multiply that negative earnings per share by a multiple. So we need to have a multiple where that can be used if we have a positive number. Now fortunately, this company does have sales, and therefore we can use a price to sales ratio to get around that problem, and the price of a share would be the 373 million sales per share of 3.73 million divided by 0.1 million shares, so that's sales per share, and then we multiply it by the price per share of the industry, to give us a share price of 231.26. So again, here this is the Kappa's sales per share, and then this is the industry price to sales ratio. All right. Be prepared also to handle an enterprise value to EBITDA based valuation. Number 21. This tells us about an investment opportunity that will pay us $10,000 every 6 months for 15 years. So that means that the $10,000 will be paid for 36-month periods. What's the value of this opportunity? So to answer the question, we need to know what is the 6-month rate to use here. Now it's not as straightforward as you might think, because the alternative investment pays 8%. Now remember, interest rates are quoted as APR by default. So we have an APR with weekly compounding, but we need a 6-month rate. Now the trick here is we need to find the EAR. Right, so the EAR has to be the same as what we would get if we used weekly compounding. Would be 8.3220474, and now we just need to find the periodic rate that will, where we compound twice, that yields that same EAR. And so we raise both sides to the 1/2, subtract 1, and we get 4.07788%. That's what goes in there. And now we're prepared to solve for the present value of this annuity. Now that is more easily solved by putting it into your financial calculator. And we're going to compute PV. Which is 171,296.90. Let's scroll up to find that answer, and there we see the 171,296.9 rounds to $7. Alright, now let's go to number 22. This is a Chapter 5 remaining balance problem. We have a house. Originally, it was a 30-year monthly mortgage. The present value, $350,000. And there was a payment that was set when the mortgage was taken out at a monthly rate of 5% divided by 12. The APR is 5%, which divided by 12 to get the monthly amount. Let's see. Now in this problem, I'm going to bypass writing the formula. Let's just write what you would put in there to get the payment. Alright, so we need to find out what the payment is. And so we see that the payment would be $1,878.8757. Now the question that's really asked is, what's the remaining balance 10 years in? Well, 10 years in, there's 240 payments to go of 1878.8757. So the question is, is that equal to? What's the present value of those remaining payments? That's what the remaining balance will be. Now, a real easy way to get to that answer is to then change the 360 to 240 and solve for a new PV, which is 284,697.23. Scroll up and see that there is that answer. Number 23, we have a bond question, so from Chapter 6. Kaiser Industries has bonds on the market making annual payments, selling for $13.82. So that's the present value. The par value is presumed here to be $1,000, and the coupon is what's unknown because asked what's the coupon rate. So I'm just going to call that C here for the repeated payment. And then the last period is 1,000 plus that coupon amount. And we're told that the annual discount rate is 7.5%. Let's solve for the coupon rate. And the coupon rate satisfies, or the coupon payment satisfies this equation. This is how we get the value of a bond. We can solve for this using the financial calculator. You need to make that negative payment is what we need to know. And then we solve for FV. I'm sorry, the FV is 1,000. We solve for PMT. And we get that PMT is 120. So the coupon rate is $120 divided by the par value. So remember, it's the par value that is we divide it by to get the 12%. That's E. Now the bonus question is, what is the answer if the coupons are paid monthly? So same information but paid monthly. Well, if monthly, then we would change the N to 14 times 12. The I would be 7.5 divided by 12. And the PMT would then be 9.9293. The coupon rate would have to be 9.9293 times 12 because it's annual coupons. That would give us slightly lower coupon rate of 11.92%. Alright, number 24. The valuation principle is conceptual. Now the key here is what best describes it, and the best description here is D. This best defines it. Now you need to remember when you do valuation principle that valuation principle says that costs and benefits have to be measured in the same units and then use market values. Alright, and now let's just do number 25, bond question. What's the price of a bond 1 year later? So we see here at period 0, we have a bond that has a par value of $1,000. Year 0 is going to be year 2015. The bond price was 1125. And the coupons are semi-annual, so 6% times 1,000 divided by 2 is 30. So this last year is 2024, so that's 9 years. We have 18 periods. Now the question is, what is the price in 2016? Now to do that, we need to get a discount rate, and then we can solve for price in 2016. Put into your calculator and you would get that the 6-month rate is 2.1548%. Now, you would use that because we want to find what's the price in year 2016. Well, the price in year 2016 is based on these cash flows only, and there's only 16 of those. And then we would then compute a new price. So change the 16 to N. We already know what the discount rate is, and that's $1,113.36. So we scroll up, we see that the answer is there, answer D. Now for bonus, what's the capital gain yield? Now capital gain yield is defined as the price in 1 year divided by the price in year 0 minus 1, or written out this way. So the price at period 0 was $11.25. And I get negative 1.0 347%. It's the capital gained yield.